Before we get started, for anybody that has photosensitive epilepsy, this video and the game itself does have some moments that could trigger seizures in some people due to the rapid flashing images. However, there is an accessibility mode that you can use, and so that you don't have to risk anything by watching the rest of this video. If you like a fast-paced action arcade shooter game, you'd enjoy this. It's fairly short, but the price tag is very small too, so in terms of dollars to playtime, you get your money's worth. So diving into this game, you got a skull on your left hand, which indicates your life, and you got a gun on your right, which you can indicate somebody else's life. That idol slowly drains as time passes, but you do refill it as you get kills. So obviously you don't want to take damage, and you want to try and finish the level as fast as possible. And this game really encapsulates that whole you gotta keep moving feeling, and if you dwell, you're gonna just get your ass clapped by a bunch of bullets flying right at you. In a way, it's like going through your local hood, but this time you're loaded up on LSD and you're going through a surreal experience. Now everything may look like a fantasy land, but unfortunately the levels are pretty much the same. Well, they at least feel the same. They do try and change it up a bit in terms of scenery, but it still has that same just look to it. But they are procedurally generated, so it's always going to be a different experience in that regard. Similarly, the soundtrack is just the same sound being looped over and over. It doesn't really change at all, but it is invigorating in a way, because it just gets you pumped and want to keep going and going until you actually can finish the game in one run. The game is split up into 11 different levels, and at the end of one you get a random choice of 3 different power-ups that you can choose from, but there aren't really too many in the pool, so in a way it's still very limited, and there are some obvious picks over others to choose from. And the same thing can be said about the weapons. You get a pistol, a shotgun, and an Uzi, and to sum it all up, the shotgun is the easiest one to use, pistol is in the middle, and an Uzi is a bit more difficult to handle. As you may have seen from the gameplay in the background, and from what I've said so far, this game is really skill-based. If you aim for the head, it's an easy kill, but if your aim sucks ass, then you're gonna have a harder time trying to beat the game. But luckily, the game offers a very, very quick way to just restart the game by just pressing R whenever you die, so you just get right back into action and ready to run your fever dream one more time. And in this fever dream, you got a not too big of a pool of enemies. You got some monster vagina wall looking things, you have little helicopter drones that really swarm you, and your standard G-Man suit guys that try and kill you. As you progress, there are more enemies that come around, but it's still pretty limited in a way. But one thing this game does have going for it is that each time you die and you keep playing over and over, you feel yourself getting better, like you're just training to beat this game each time you play it. So it really has that arcade feel to it, and this game is perfect for speedrunners too, because they have a little point counter thing each time you die or you finish a level. And you also have a timer, of course, to see how fast you can beat the game. And the developer definitely encourages playing this game like a speedrun, because there's a leaderboard at the end whenever you die that you can compare yourself to everybody across the world or to yourself. So there is something to work up to. But nothing carries over after your death, so it's not a roguelike in that sense. It's mainly just an arcade game. Other than living through a fever dream, shooting a bunch of people, running, sliding, trying to beat your time, there's really not much else to the game. And that's really my biggest complaint, is that there's a lack of variety to it, as I've said countless times. And this game would really benefit from like a new game mode, even endless mode. It doesn't even have that. So there's a lot of room for improvement, but so far we haven't really gotten much of that improvement. And of course, there's opportunity to add more perks, more weapons. Just adding more of everything would probably help the game out a lot more. And also to help pad out its time, because you can finish this within an hour and a half and unlock all the achievements. And you're not going to get much more playtime out of it unless you challenge yourself and try and beat your time or try and aim for a top score on the leaderboard or whatever. But like I said in the beginning, the game has a small price tag to it, so it counteracts the small playtime you get out of it. Oh, and before I forget, there's also nothing you unlock once you beat the game. It's kind of just, that's it. You get a little achievement and a little pat in the back, smack in the ass, good job. That's it. And it could really benefit to, like I said, unlocking a new mode or just something new. Maybe even cheat codes. That would go well with this game. Nevertheless, the game's experience is worth it, especially if you like speedrunning a game or if you like an action shooter type of game. I had fun with it. I believe you will too. And if you're still on the fence, there's always sales, which will knock down the price even more. So you could enjoy a trip that's cheaper than your local drug prices. That's it for this one. Hopefully this video is helpful, and if you do decide on purchasing this game, enjoy your fever trip. And hopefully you have fun as much as I did. See ya.